First of all, I was surprised to hear the news, but we knew that he was in bad health the last few years, and he hadn't been able to come back to the Hall of Fame weekend and that type of thing, and be on his bus for that amount of time. So we knew he wasn't doing real well health wise, but I don't think anybody expected him to pass away. So I think that surprised everybody. But at 85 years old, you just don't know how much anybody has left. But what a legacy he left behind. He was a one of a kind figure in sports, and just a one of a kind figure in American just in American culture.
What was the experience like in 2006 of all the people to get to go into Canton with? You got to spend that weekend with, amongst Troy Aikman and Reggie White's family and Rayfield Wright and Harry Carson, but there's only one John Madden.
Yeah, and he really made the weekend a lot of fun because everybody was, on pins and needles, nervous and worried about their speeches, worried about making sure family was taken care of and all the different things that go on with a big event. But he was just this, fun-loving character as he's always been. I had met him years before when I did a couple of production meetings with him before games, but really got a chance to know him really well that weekend. And we were able to sit down and talk football, and he just kind of put you at ease whenever you talk to him. So he made everybody feel at ease that weekend. And that's the great thing you love about John, other than the knowledge that he has about football and everything else that he's known for.
What was it like? Do you feel like you've made it once you hear John Madden say your name and you hear him announce your name, right?
Well, when you know he's going to do your game, you feel like you've made it. You know it's a big game if John's going to do your game. And I know he did one of my Thanksgiving Day games where we had the turkey dunking and all that stuff going on after the game was over. Again, I got a chance to talk to him during those production meetings prior to the game, so we talked a lot of football and a lot of strategy and different things like that. So yeah, he was one of the big timers. When John was doing your game and Pat Summerall, it was a big game. uh, Unfortunately, I was in the AFC a lot of that time, and he did a lot of NFC games. But whenever we crossed over, I was able to have him as part of the broadcast team.
When you look back at what he's meant to the sport, in your mind, what's John Madden's legacy?
I think he's probably the biggest sports icon of a non athlete that there is. You've got the Michael Jordans in basketball and the Jim Browns in football and the Willie Mays and people like that and Hank Aaron's and Babe Ruth's in baseball, but they were actually players. John was not a player except for the brief time he played in college. He was a coach. He was a broadcaster, and he was a innovator as far as the game was concerned. So I think as far as sports in general, he's probably the biggest icon sports has had of a non-athlete.